Curtis?
Our grass control was excellent with the Eradicane.
We just felt that the Eradicane, under dry conditions, acts different and works much better than Lasso under the same conditions.
We switched from Dual and we're well satisfied. Our dealer recommended Eradicane to save us money. We're happy to report we saved almost $3 an acre with Eradicane this year.
For better grass control than Dual or Lasso, farmers like you were switching to Eradicane.
The Stan Albeck Show, Sundays, only on WEEK.
Whenever Bradley plays, we always pay close attention to the matchup on Hersey Hawkins. But today, the best matchup is the point guards. Bradley's Anthony Manuel and Wichita State's Joe Griffin. And it's not just a good matchup because of their playing skills.
As you know, Anthony is my buddy. You know, we back from the same neighborhood. He's a little farther, but he's my buddy. You know, I like playing against Anthony because he motivates me, and I'm pretty sure I motivate him. And it's just the competitiveness that comes out between us two that I like to see. I like to maybe come down on Anthony one time and say face, as we call it. That means to go a basket in his face. The next time he'll say face to me. I'll pat him on his buddy. He'll pat me on my buddy. And we just, you know, just a good friends, and that's competitiveness coming out. I like that.
Well, we'll see if Joe Griffin is laughing when the ball game is over. The Braves in Wichita, and now for the starting lineup, the public address announcer at Carver Arena, Paul Herzog.
And now let's read the starting lineup for today's Missouri Conference game, featuring the Shockers of Wichita State and your Bradley Braves. At a forward for Wichita, a 6'8" junior from Macon, Georgia, number 20, Steve Grayer. And for Bradley, a 6'7" senior from Havana, Illinois, number 40, Trevor Trempe. The other Wichita forward is 6'5" senior from Mount Vernon, New York, number 3, Lou Hill. And for Bradley, a 6'6" senior from Chicago, 21, Jerry Thomas. At center for the Shockers, a 6'9" senior from Titograd, Yugoslavia, number 45, Sasha Radunovic. And for Bradley, a 6'8" sophomore from Springfield, Illinois, 53, Luke Jackson. At a guard for Wichita State, a 6-foot sophomore from Summit, Illinois, number 10, Joe Griffin. And for Bradley, a 5'11" junior from Chicago, number 12, Anthony Manuel. Other Shocker guard, a 6'5" junior from Columbia, South Carolina, 22, Dwight Prelo. And for Bradley, a 6'3" senior from Chicago, All-American, 33, Hersey Hawkins. The coaches for Wichita State in his second year, Ed Fogler. And for Bradley in his second year, Stan Albeck.
So it's the Braves at 8-2 and Wichita State at 7-4, and we'll be back with a tip-off in just a minute.
They treat me right here at Methodist. As a member of the Senior Connection Club, I get the right savings on special services at Methodist.
I get the right information on health, insurance, nutrition, and other timely topics from Methodist.
And so can you, right here at Methodist,
where senior services are right.
For more information about senior services, call 674-2273. Rootworms are the biggest threat to your corn crop each year, and you need the consistent performance of Counter. Last year, tests by major universities in the Corn Belt proved that Counter works best. It prevented economic loss to rootworms in 95% of all tests. The next insecticide prevented economic loss in only 73% of the tests. That's a serious performance gap, and you can't afford a rootworm performance gap. Get Counter at your local AgriCenter dealer.
Success with Silk Screen tonight on American Dreamers.
Our Shockers for the afternoon, from left to right, Tom O'Neill, Ron Zetcher, and Willie Sanchez.
You've been looking in that dictionary again, haven't you?
I got the thesaurus out for the game, and I'm not going to let it go to waste.
I've heard refs called a lot of things, but I don't think I've ever heard them called arbiters before.
The Braves and Shockers played a whale of a game here a year ago. It went to overtime before Bradley won it 79-78. Luke Jackson and number 20, Steve Greer, on the opening tip, and Bradley controls it with Jerry Thomas dumping it back to Anthony Manuel. This is Hersey Hawkins. Cuts through the lane, shoots, and hits. So the fans at Carver Arena can sit down right away. The Braves on the scoreboard just seconds into the ball game.
Wichita opened in their man-to-man. Hersey didn't take too long to break it.
Manuel tries for the steal, but Joe Griffin, their point guard, recovers. Greer up top to Joe Griffin. A great matchup of point guards this afternoon. White Prelo baseline outside to Lou Hill, the former Mount Vernon, New York star. Prelo with the jumper, a three-point basket.
White Prelo, 3.
He's good from that range, hit 8 in a row earlier this year, and then as the Braves try to bring it down the floor in a hurry, we have a whistle on the play by Willie Sanchez. The call is against Wichita.
Jerry Thomas is fouled.
White Prelo, and Jerry Thomas will go to the free throw line.
We've seen Bradley struggle to get the tempo at their pace in the early going of some of these later games that we've been doing, and they've done a good job so far forcing the action here in the first minute of the game. They've really pushed the ball up.
Let's see if Jerry has better luck at the free throw line than he has lately from the field. He's in a shooting slump. He's only hit 2 of his last 14 from the field, but he cans his first charity shot. And he can put the Braves ahead by a digit less than a minute into the game. He does.
Here comes the 2-2-1 full court zone. We've seen so much from Bradley this year.
The Braves have had success with that trap. And the Shockers nearly turned it over that time against the Bradley defense. And it goes to Greer, Trimpey on him. The ball stolen away by Manuel. Anthony Manuel, number 12, ahead to the Hawk. Drives on Griffin, outside to Trimpey, up top Manuel. Hawkins with the 3. No good. And White Prelo there with the rebound, but Manuel steals it, and then he's fouled by Prelo. That's 2 fouls on Prelo.
White Prelo commits his second foul.
Wichita coming off with the rebound. They're one of the few teams in the Valley that likes to run as much as Bradley does. I doubt if they'll try to run as much, though, today. Nobody wants to get in a running game with Bradley. There's the freshman for Wichita State.
Athletically, they have the people to do it. Paul Gafrovich, number 15, in the ball game for Wichita State. Thomas with the turnaround jump, way off the mark, and Lou Hill collects the carry and pushes it up the floor in a hurry. The pass to Radunovich, however, is ahead of him and out of bounds, and Bradley will take over, leading by 1. Only a minute and a half into this afternoon's ball game. This is Hawkins with the jumper. Kicks off the irons. Luke Jackson with a rebound. They say he touched it last. It'll be interesting to watch Luke today because I was talking to him before the ball game, and he mentioned to me that last year when these teams played, he did not guard Sasha Radunovich. He wasn't his assignment. So we'll see how he handles him this afternoon.
Well, JT's guarding him this time down.
And a foul on Trevor Trimpey, the Braves' first foul of the afternoon.
Yesterday at practice, assistant coach Mo McCone called Radunovich the best big man in the Valley.
Well, he's very versatile. He's a good shooter for a big man. In fact, he's a good three-point shooter.
Yeah, he averages about 1 3 a game and usually makes it.
Right to Anthony Manuel for Luke Jackson. Well, I think that makes amends for the foul. Or at least the turnover earlier, and the Braves have a 3-point lead here on the Shockers.
Well, Luke is going to really have a chance to shine if Bradley keeps an up-tempo game today. That's where he really plays well.
In the corner, Sasha Radunovich. His pass is tipped and stolen by Hawkins. Ahead to Manuel. The Braves looking to score in a hurry. Jackson with the hook, and the call is against Sasha Radunovich. Their leading scorer and rebounder, the 6'10 junior from Titograd, Yugoslavia.
we haven't seen that too often lately. Bradley had 3-on-2. Usually the teams they've been facing lately have gotten guys back, and they haven't really had the opportunity to break as much as they'd like.
Jackson with that less than dubious free throw percentage of 25. Misses on the first and
oh my God,
hits the second.
Here's the trap again.
Griffin nearly throws it away. He has a tendency to turn the ball over a lot. Now he's double teamed. Gets it off to Lou Hill. Gafrovic in the corner. Fake the jumper, doesn't take it. Still in trouble. Had to get it off before the 5-second call. Here's Hill at the foul line. Hawkins playing tenacious defense on it. The Braves doing an excellent job against the Shockers. They haven't gotten the ball close. 14 on the shot clock. The pitch to Grayer underneath for the reverse layup, and he did a good job with the room he had to work with and cut the Bradley lead to 2. Manuel pops, misses the three-pointer. The rebound collected in the corner by Joe Griffin. This is Paul Gafrovic. To Hill, who's wide open, and hits. Hill coming back after a groin injury, making an early contribution, and we're tied with 16:40 to play in the first half. Gary Thomas on the baseline is fouled by Radunovic, and that's 2 fouls on Sasha Radunovic already. John Cooper, number 14, and Dwayne Prelo, the identical twin brother of Dwight, check in for Wichita State.
And if you can keep them straight, good luck. That's surprising to see Radunovic make a silly foul like that.
Well, he's out of the ball game right now. Eddie Fogler doesn't want him to get in further trouble. Trevor Trimpe in and out on the three-point attempt, and Dwayne Prelo with the three-pointer, or at least with the rebound. Anthony Manuel with the near steal, but it goes out of bounds in front of our broadcast location at Carver Arena. We're tied at 7. Eddie Fogler's Wichita State Shockers in town for the afternoon. Didn't get in till 10 o'clock last night.
Yeah, they've had so much trouble on the road. They're 1-3 on the road this season. And then their road troubles continue. Last night they were supposed to practice at 5:30 over at the field house. Didn't get in till 10, so that might be a little bit of a factor.
15 left on the shot clock. Griffin pitches it into Grayer. He's guarded by Luke Jackson. Ball out of bounds. And apparently a foul. Luke Jackson with the foul. Stan Albeck arguing that he traveled before he was bumped. And we've got a timeout on the floor with 15:49 to play in the first half. As you take a look.
Oh, he looked like he just fell out of bounds.
Oh, you look at... Farmers who switch to Eradicane are getting better grass control. Isn't that right, Gary?
They did an excellent job controlling our grasses. Mainly foxtail is our big grass problem, and we're very happy with Eradicane.
How about you, Alan?
I watched my neighbor putting on Eradicane with his fertilizer through impregnation, and I tried it, and it just cleaned up my grasses really well.
For better grass control than dual or lasso, farmers like you are switching to Eradicane.
Like Larry, Moe, and Curly, fast cars and fancy shoes. Like Buffalo Bob and a lucky dog, and like cats who sing the blues. I'm an American original, the first draft beer in a can, tapping ice cold pours with a friend of yours.
Brewed fresh draft beer in bottles and cans. That's been Coors for over 25 years. Taste the original today.
Put a 12-ounce keg in your hand.
For years, the people of Central Illinois have been telling you about Pekin new car dealers.
We looked in Canton and Peoria and Pekin and finally decided to buy our car at Pekin.
We negotiated for the very best price.
Isn't it time you found out for yourself? For the best selection, best service before and after the sale, and the best price, look no further than the Pekin New Car Dealers. They have what you're looking for, and they have it for less.
World Cup skiing, Sunday on WEEK.
We will name a North Point Video Bradley Player of the Game later this afternoon, and North Point Video will then make a donation in the name of that player to Bradley University's General Scholarship Fund. We're tied at Carver Arena at 7 apiece with just under 16 minutes to play in the first half.
The defensive intensity by Bradley is a lot better in the first half than we've seen for quite a while. Whether or not they can keep that up for the full 20 minutes, we'll just have to see.
And ironically, the improvement on Wichita State in the last couple of years has been to their defense. So the Braves giving them a taste of their own medicine. And right there, Bradley forces the shot.
Good position by Luke and Trevor on the inside that time.
Steve Greer on the rebound. Joe Griffin up the floor in a hurry. Puts the dribble down against Manuel, who is all over him.
Well, that's something they talked about at practice yesterday. They want Anthony to put a lot of pressure on the ball, and that'll help keep Wichita State from taking advantage of their size inside, although they've got the smaller lineup in right now.
Just like Anthony Manuel for the Braves, as Gofrovic shoots a three and misses. Joe Griffin is the key to the offense for Wichita State. He's averaging 8 assists a game. Krimpy blows the long shot. The ball out of bounds. Last touch by the Braves.
You remember last year Trevor had a little bit of a shooting slump, and he's kind of in one right now. He's only scored about 3.5 points a game in the last 4 games. He's only taken 13 shots since the Dayton game. He's 0 of 4 inside the three-point line, so he ought to step behind it. He's been doing better from outside it.
In fact, he shoots almost 90% of his shots from the three-point strike. Now the Braves force another turnover. Ahead to Thomas, a quick flip to Hawkins, and it goes out of bounds. But I believe the Braves will hang on to it.
Great help that time defensively by Anthony. Somebody was beat.
And it goes to Manuel, guarded by Paul Gofrovic. He's a freshman from Nanticoke, Pennsylvania. Thomas, bumped by Prelo, gets up there, and then a whistle after the shot fell off the rim.
Boy, JT just hasn't had any luck down inside the paint the last couple of games. He couldn't get anything to fall at NC Charlotte in the opening minutes of that game the other night.
Paul Wilson into the ball game along with number 24, Donald Powell. The foul was on Hersey Hawkins. The Braves with 3 team fouls so far, and Wichita State with 4. We're still tied.
That's 10. That was 10.
And Greer saw the clock and threw it down in disgust, but the whistle hadn't blown, and Anthony Manuel turns it into 2 points.
Clock was at 35 before they crossed the line.
They just get it across this time, and Gofrovic hits from three-point range. Paul Gofrovic, who's shooting 42% from beyond the arc. Manuel counters with a 3 of his own, but it rolls in and out, and Gofrovic is fouled on the rebound. Gofrovic hit for 7 threes in a game against Grambling earlier this year. Now he'll take a seat on the bench as Eddie Fogler sends out Lou Hill, Dwight Prelo, and Sasha Radunovich. 3 starters who were taking a rest.
Well, if there's one thing we saw Eddie Fogler do last year, it was substitute quite a bit, and he's about 8 or 9 deep on that bench.
A 1-point Wichita lead. They're trying to boost that here on this trip, but the Bradley defense has done an excellent job on them so far. Lou Hill, a foot on the stripe, hits a 2-point basket.
Hill, 3 points.
Lou Hill.
2 points, 2.
Wichita showing zone now.
Paul Wilson way off the mark on the 3-point attempt. Ball out of bounds, but it belongs to the Braves. Bradley averaging 99.7 points per game. That's 3rd in the nation behind Oklahoma and Loyola, but they've only scored 12 in about 7 minutes so far this afternoon. The defense doing all the work so far today. Paul Wilson, top of the circle, but quick pitch inside to Hawkins. Back to Manuel, now to Wilson, who wasn't open.
This is something Eddie Fogler likes to do, is kind of a cocktail defense. He mixes it up, man-to-man zone, to try and confuse the other team.
Powell banks it in. Donald Powell, who really made a difference at North Carolina Charlotte the other night. Scoring here to pull the Braves within one. Prelo wide open, passes up the shot. Quick bounce inside to Dwayne Prelo, and he scores. Number 25 is Dwayne, number 22 is Dwight. Manuel, three-pointer. Anthony hitting almost 50% from beyond the arc. And of course he had those 8 three-pointers against Loyola last weekend.
He was really disappointed in himself after Monday night's game, the loss to Illinois State, and I think he's come back with a vengeance. Had a good game at NC Charlotte the other night.
Donald Powell called for the push.
That push was so polite you wouldn't even say excuse me if you happened to do that at church. That was polite.
A polite foul. Paul Gafrovich in, number 15, and that'll give Joe Griffin, the starting point guard, a breather. A year ago, Donald Powell, in the game here at Peoria, had 5 blocked shots against the Shockers. So they know all about what he can do and want to stay out of his territory. Here's Gafrovich, guarded by Hawkins. Bogdanovich falls. He's holding his right knee and he's hurt. Now he's holding his elbow. He had elbow surgery during the off season, and he's holding his right elbow, and he's in pain. Let's take a look at how that happened. Let's see if he breaks his fall with one of the elbows. Well, it doesn't look like he hit his elbow.
I think it's... He might have got dinged coming around for a pick. He just kind of collapsed all at once.
That was that right leg that he initially grabbed. Landed right on his knee. And you can see it in his face. He is really in pain. Not only would this be a big loss to the Shockers in the game, but if he were to miss a substantial amount of playing time, they can ill afford to lose him for much of the season. He's a dominant player. While he recovers, we'll take a break.
With the arrival of the Morrisons' new baby, the flexibility of Country Company's universal life insurance is a big help.
I know it's hard to believe, but you can change the amount of your coverage, even skip payments if you need to.
But why Country Companies?
They've always delivered what they promised.
You got country behind you.
With Country Company's universal life.
You got Country Companies.
Joe, did you know that Diphenate insecticide gave more dependable rootworm control than Furadan or Lorsban?
No, I didn't. I'm going with Diphenate next time.
Diphenate for stand-up control. Jim, did you know that Diphenate gave more dependable rootworm control than Furadan or Lorsban?
No, I didn't.
Next year, Diphenate.
Diphenate for stand-up control.
Continuing concern over lead, Monday on Kids Nowadays.
One more look at Sasha Radunovich, who lands on his knee. He actually tripped over the leg of Percy Hawkins as Hawkins came out to meet the ball.
Yeah, but he's limping on that right leg. It's the right one he injured. He's not putting too much weight on it coming out either.
I think the right leg got hung up, and perhaps he stretched something when he did that. Yes. And judging by the way he went off in front of us here, I think it's safe to say that we will not see Sasha Radunovich for the rest of the afternoon, and that's really a shame because he adds so much to Wichita State. And of course, naturally, Bradley doesn't have to deal with him, but I think we would see a bit better matchup inside if he were there. So he's gone with 11:40 to play in the first half.
Well, Wichita lost their big bulk inside last year when Henry Carr and Gus Santos graduated. And Radunovich is a big part of the inside game.
Looks like Steve Grayer will take over for him, the 6'8 junior, and Grayer scores.
Somebody forgot about him that time.
Here's Donald Powell inside. He'll go up against two defenders and puts it right in.
And that's so important, Mark, because that eventually will help loosen up Hawk and get him open. But the Shockers have to worry about somebody on the inside.
Donald coming off that game at Charlotte where he scored 10 points with 7 rebounds and for a moment thought he was in the NBA slam dunk contest when he put down that 180.
He's had some pretty ones the last couple of games.
Petrovich being guarded by Manuel, off to Lou Hill. Now the flip to Prelo. Outside, Dwayne Prelo back to Dwight. Steve Grayer picked up by Donald Powell with 10 seconds on the shot clock. They've got to get one off. Dwight Prelo cans it from the wing. And Wichita has an 18-16 lead. Here's Hawkins. Couldn't sink the three. Hill hustles to get the rebound from Paul Wilson.
Hawk hasn't hit his shot from out there today. He's 0 for 3 if I'm counting right. But he is getting open. He's coming around the picks, and the picks are a little bit better today, so that is one good sign.
Dwight Prelo trying to pass it outside to relieve the pressure. Threw it off the leg of Luke Jackson, and a new 45 will go on the clock as Tom Kozic, number 24, 6'10 senior, checks into the ball game. He's from Calumet City, Illinois, so he probably enjoys the trip to Bradley and then Illinois State on Monday. I'm sure some of the home folks are down to watch him. 10 minutes to play in the first half, and Wichita leads 18-16. Now the ball goes out of bounds again off a Bradley player.
Yeah, Wichita's got the lead, but Bradley's playing some really tight defense.
I think this is the best defensive performance we've seen them have yet this year. Although it's early in the ball game, they haven't let up. Grayer with Luke all over him. And Luke Jackson helped force the turnover. Now the baseball pass to Thomas in the front court. Almost tipped away by Griffin, but Jerry holds on to it.
Great help that time by Anthony. They had 3 guys trapping Grayer down there.
There's the turnout as Hawkins spills through the lane. Gives to Thomas, who hits. Percy lost his balance as he went to the hole and in a split second decided to pass it off because he couldn't make the shot. Tie ball game at Carver Arena. Hill at the foul line. Gives it up to Steve Grayer. Powell on him. Grayer out of his range. Hill open for a moment. Doesn't take the shot. Gafrovich with the 3. Got it. Paul Gafrovich, averaging 6 points per game, has equaled that already this afternoon. Here's Manuel. And he misses the 3, but Donald Powell is there to play garbage man. And it's a half dozen for Donald.
It's easy for you to say.
Sure.
He's not real happy with having to come off the bench. He'd rather be starting, but he knows he's got to make the best of the playing time that he does get. He knows he can help out inside.
They got 31 minutes against Charlotte. Gafrovich with the miss. And I think we'll see plenty from Donald this afternoon. And now Luke Jackson is hurting.
Looks like the left leg. He came down on it wrong. Maybe the ankle.
Bradley trainer Doug Comer out to take a look at Luke, who now begins to writhe as that leg is looked at.
Well, not a good day for the big men here at Carver Arena. Sasha Radunovich already gone from the game.
Let's see if we can see what happens to Luke when he comes down. Well, I'm guessing that Percy Hawkins bumped into his knee when he came down. So the Hawk,
he might have just come down on it wrong too,
has been in the vicinity of both injuries. And we'll see if this costs Luke any playing time for the rest of the game. Wichita State came in here with a record of 7-4, but don't let that deceive you. 3 of those losses were in overtime. One of them to Purdue. And the 4th loss was a 2-pointer on the road. So they've been in every game and could easily be undefeated. Luke Jackson limps off, and he'll go into the locker room to get a closer look.
So that matchup that we were so looking forward to has quickly dissolved.
Yeah, they're in watching the game together on TV. The matchup is at the ice chest.
Now the first report on Sasha is a bruised knee. That's the preliminary report we have.
Jerry Thomas on the nice feed from Shrimpy, who's bulleted the pass inside, and the Braves take the lead with 8 minutes to play in the first half, 22-21.
Now, maybe we're going to see the JT that we saw against Cal Irvine and against Evansville.
He has been 1 for 7 from the field in each of the Braves' last 2 ball games. John Cooper with a turnaround jumper, spills off the rim to Donald Powell, who outlets to Manuel. Now Thomas has it, and he's fouled as he goes inside. Offensive foul is called. It's on Jerry Thomas, his first.
On Jerry Thomas, his first.
Well, I think
they're waiting for him.
Yeah, I think people know that when Jerry gets the ball, he's going to go hard to the basket, and they just set up in there and wait for him.
Back after this.
Why buy a TV with no extended transistor warranties when you can buy Hitachi with 10 years warranty on transistors?
Why buy a TV with only a 2-year picture tube warranty when you can buy Hitachi at Sherman's and get a full 5-year picture tube warranty?
Why buy a TV with only a 1-year warranty on parts when you can buy a Hitachi with a 2-year parts warranty?
Why buy a TV with 90 days labor when you can buy a Hitachi TV with 1-year labor?
Buy your new Hitachi TV at Sherman's.
This is the last one. Somebody better go out.
I'm not going out.
America Pages Plus, published by Donnelly Directory. Shop here and shop sitting down. Why rip something up in a pinch when you can pick something up in a pinch with the simple use of your fingers? Ameritech Pages Plus, published by Donnelly Directory. Shop here and shop good.
Disney Snowball Express, today at 3 on WEEK.
A reminder that this Bradley basketball telecast is protected by broadcast rights granted by Bradley University and the Missouri Valley Conference. Any rebroadcast or other use without the express written consent of WEEK-TV and Bradley University is strictly prohibited.
Well, that means we can't do it.
Well, don't tell anybody.
On the walls are correct.
Bradley sends out Manuel, Thomas, Shrimpy, Hawkins, and Powell. And we talked a little about Radenovich and Luke Jackson, who have left the ball game with injuries, and Donald Powell's presence. We should note that the Braves in their last 2 ball games have gotten a total, this is in 2 games now, of 17 points from their starters up front. They need more production from that front line. Let's see if Powell gives it to them. The Braves leading by 1, but Wichita has the ball. This is John Cooper, the freshman from Kansas City, Missouri. A bounce inside to Prelo, out to Griffin for the foul line jumper, in and out, and Donald Powell rips down the rebound, ahead to Hawkins, now to Manuel, 3-on-2, and the Hawk lays it in.
Look for a little bit more defensive intensity this time down. The Braves have kind of slacked off a little bit. The coach is trying to admonish them to do that this time down.
Only 4 points for Hawkins.
But he's been getting open. He just hasn't hit his shot so far.
Frayer with the hook as he went high and almost dropped that one down into the basket. Hawkins, 3-pointer. No good.
Maybe he's too open.
Dwayne Prelo, a defensive specialist, flips the ball out to Cooper. Now to Dwight Prelo, back to brother Dwayne. Short on the jumper, tipped up by Cooper, rebounded by JT. The pass to Donald Powell for the dunk.
Dwight Prelo got knocked into the first row down there, and no call.
Wayne Prelo with the jumper, no good. Braves with a chance to go up by 5. JT circles in the front court and hits.
Fool him once, but you're not going to fool him again. Griffin was there set up waiting to take the charge. JT pulled up and hit his shot.
Look at Manuel eyeing Griffin like a cat. He's been picking him up at midcourt and doing a great job on him. Cooper inside is blocked by Thomas, but a foul is called. And that's the second on Jerry. Puts Wichita on the bonus. Just got up over him from behind.
Bradley's gotten the rebound the last couple of times down the floor, but Wichita has had the good position. Donald just a couple of times down the floor ago. Can you keep up with me on that? He had 3 Wichita guys in front of him. He just went over them to get the rebound.
And when I say Wichita is in the bonus, Cooper would have been shooting 2 anyway because he was shooting when he was fouled, but from here on out, Wichita State is in the bonus. The Shockers only have 14 fouls, so the Braves are a little ways off from being in a bonus situation as Cooper hits the first.
We have a report on Luke Jackson. Apparently he had a slight bump on the knee, and they expect him to return sometime today.
Bradley with the rebound off the free throw miss, and the Hawkins with the layup. Hawk doesn't dunk those like he used to. Maybe he's just trying to conserve energy. He has a half dozen. Bradley up by 6, just under 5 minutes to play. There's John Cooper with a pop.
John Cooper, Mr. Missouri basketball last year. John Cooper.
Gary Thomas can't hit the hook. Wichita starts to put it into high gear. But now things come to a screeching halt in the front court. Gofrovich, top of the circle, drives on Hawkins, off to Griffin. Still nothing doing. They've been patient. Gofrovich drives inside, passes up the shot, gives to Cooper instead. Now Tom Kozic with the rebound, and Donald Powell racks up his second foul on the play.
Well, Tom Kozic is not what you would call your great post-up player. But when you have position like that, you don't have to be real good. That was all set up by Gofrovich driving into the basket, making some penetration.
I'm not sure where the foul was, but it wasn't on that replay. Kozic will go to the free throw line where he's hitting only 50%. Went to Thornwood High School and hails from Calumet City. He's a senior who redshirted a few years back because of a back injury, and he cuts the Bradley lead to 3. They missed the second shot again, but this time they get the rebound. Here's Gofrovich. They can make this a 3-point trip up the floor. Kozic won't shoot it from out there, but he puts the dribble down. Griffin holds it high to Lou Hill, guarded by Trimpey. Gofrovich gets it off before Manuel picked him up.
And Anthony wanted a foul. He felt he was held there in the lane.
Bradley's lead down to 1. Percy Hawkins with only 6 points so far. Powell banks it up no good, but the foul is on Tom Kozic. So Powell was called for one when Kozic went to the hoop on the other end. And Kozic obliges with one of his own when Donald tries to score.
Wichita State in the 2-3 zone that time. Donald a good job of finding a lane and does what he's best at, taking the ball, turning, and going right to the basket.
Powell shooting about 51% from the free throw line, and he will be able to salvage only one of two if he makes this. He does, and the Braves have a 2-point lead here at Carver Arena.
At University Ford, you're always a winner. How about an Escort pony for only $109.23 per month? Choose from over 50 Escorts at Central Illinois' only 5-star Ford dealer.
The lowest prices are guaranteed at Applegate Furniture.
Lazy Boy and Lane Action. You can't beat the style, fabrics, and comfort of the two leading names in recliners. And now Applegate brings you the largest selection in Central Illinois. We have over 400 models in stock, starting as low as $179. It's worth the pleasant drive to Blackstone for Lazy Boy and Lane Action quality at the lowest prices in Illinois.
Our prices are great at Applegate.
Sports Dateline 1987, today at 2 on WEEK.
Join Stan Albeck and his guests tomorrow morning at 11 when they discuss drug testing in sports, the high school holiday basketball tournaments, and some of the great little men in basketball. Tomorrow morning at 11, the Stan Albeck Show on WEEK. And there you see the score, 31-29 Braves with 3:34 to play in the first half. Luke Jackson with a knee bruise, out of the ball game. We don't know if he'll return. Sasha Radunovich with a leg injury. He went off in so much pain that he probably won't return. And Donald Powell has taken over inside for Bradley. And the Braves lead by 2. Joe Griffin with the ball, guarded by Emanuel, who he has worn like a second jersey this afternoon. Lou Hill spinning on Trimby, a bounce pass to Kozic, who misses. Powell with a rebound. Another defensive board for number 24. Manuel front court, three-pointer, yes. 8 points for Anthony. Well, all of a sudden, this has become the three-point league. Matt Taphorn went wild last night for ISU in their victory over Tulsa. Manuel's been a good one. And these Wichita State Shockers shoot well from three-point range. They're almost at 46%. Everybody's shooting the three. Lou Hill with the basket, a foul, it counts. So Hill goes to the free throw line with a chance for a three-point play. Jerry Thomas is called right here. Had his hands around him like groceries.
Good move in the lane that time. Lou Hill's had an uphill battle his entire career. He got a hardship redshirt last season. He missed a month with a strained knee, and then a back injury put him in traction for a week. Missed 4 or 5 games his junior year with a torn muscle, and he missed the last 2 games with a groin pull.
And he connects on the back end of the three-point play, so Wichita is within 2. Hawkins with the jumper, got it. That's 8 points for Hawkins. Hill with the quick pass inside, has it batted away, but Trevor Trimpe is caught red-handed. That's 2 on Trimpe, and incidentally, Jerry Thomas, who committed the last foul that sent Hill to the line, is on the bench with 3.
Wichita showing a little of their quickness that time down the floor.
There it is. All it takes is a little touch. And they're calling it this afternoon. Hill misses the first free throw. This guy used to play with Walter Berry at San Jacinto Junior College. He and Berry teamed up to lead them to a national championship, and of course Berry subsequently ended up at St. John's and now plays in the NBA with the San Antonio Spurs.
And we already saw San Jacinto. Is that how you say it? I don't know. We already saw Liddell Eccles, who also played down there in New Orleans.
The whistle inside, and Trevor Trimpe gets caught again. So 3 on Trimpe and 3 on Jerry Thomas, and let's see if Trevor comes out of the ball game. The way the Braves defense has played today, you hate to lose a guy like Trevor. There he is on the backside, and once again, I'm not exactly sure where that foul was committed. But it's his third, and stepping up to the line is Dwayne Prelo, a 67% free throw shooter. He and his twin brother Dwight went to the same high school as Xavier McDaniel, the former Wichita State star who plays with the Seattle Supersonics these days. Another Shocker, Cedric Coleman, also went to school there at AC Flora High School in South Carolina.
Gene Smithson must have had a special deal on plane tickets there because he spent a lot of time picking those guys up.
I think, in fact, he may have. Yeah. A lot of people will think you're joking. Less than 2 minutes to go in the half. The alley-oop to Wilson didn't work, and that's because it was fouled by Lou Hill from behind. That's the first on number 3. And the Braves clinging to a 1-point lead.
Zone again by Wichita State. Paul Wilson found an opening, but not for very long.
Wilson wasn't in the act of shooting, and the Braves still not in the bonus. They will be, however, when Wichita commits its next foul. Hawkins with the turnover inside. Probably should have gone to the hoop instead of putting the dribble down, unless it was batted out of his hands. And then Hill almost lost it. A bounce to Steve Greer. Blocked by Greg Jones, who's checked into the ball game, number 32 for Bradley. Here's Manuel, top of the circle. You see it from ground level as Hawkins drives and banks it in. And the Hawk is in double figures with 10.
Well, Hawk will pick that zone apart all afternoon if they stand around like that.
Now a whistle at the other end, and the Shockers are called for traveling.
Hawk just blew right by Lou Hill that time and went right to the basket.
Inside 1:20 to play in the half. Hawkins with the 3. No good off the mark. Hawkins had 20 field goals at Charlotte the other night, but he's had his problems here this afternoon. Now he has it stolen from him by Griffin, and Blair will put it in. He buried that so far that they're having trouble finding it.
Well, we said earlier, when Wichita gets a chance to run with it, they will, and the numbers were definitely in their advantage that time.
Inside a minute to play. 38-37 Braves. Here's the bounce to Wilson. Outside Manuel. Passes up the 3. Powell is wide open. They came out to meet Hersey Hawkins, and that left Donald Powell all by himself.
Well, that's part of what's been happening. The Hawk's been getting open. He hasn't been hitting his shots, but Donald has become a presence on the inside, and they have to pay more attention to him, or that's going to happen.
Thrown away by Wichita State, and the Braves, who lead by 3, have 24 seconds to work with, and will try to hold out for a last shot, which is something this man really attempts to do.
Now, the 24-second clock's the way he likes it, though.
Off. Down to 12 seconds left in the half. 10 seconds. Manuel still with the ball. Powell inside. Lays it in with 6. And is fouled on the play. And Donald will go to the free throw line with a chance to hit on the back end of the three-point play.
We saw him do this so well last year before he got hurt.
25, Dwayne Prelo his first. Powell tries for 3.
And one more look at Donald Powell as he goes to the hoop. We used to talk about Anthony or at least Hersey Hawkins being more aggressive, and Donald Powell has certainly been aggressive today. He's going right for the bucket, and it's paid off. Donald now with a total of 14 points, and the Braves up by 6. 5 seconds left as Griffin pops a three-point shot. That's good. 2 seconds, 1 second. They won't get the shot off, and the Braves will go into the locker room at halftime, leading Wichita 43-40. We'll take a breather too.
Which Central Illinois law firm has over 65 years combined experience in personal injury cases? Goldfine and Bold. Which law firm represents the largest number of personal injury victims? Goldfine and Bold. Which law firm is the leader in personal injury and workers' compensation awards? Goldfine and Bold. What's the first thing you should do if you're injured? Call Goldfine and Bold. There's no charge to discuss your case. Don't settle for less.
In 1959, Coors first put draft beer in bottles and cans. That same year, an Hispanic kid from Pacoima rocked the nation, and fans learned a new language from a young man named Richie. The skyrocketing success of Richie Valens, the brewery fresh draft taste of Coors beer. You can copy the style, but there's only one original.
When Ed moved to Wheaton, he thought he was going to have to look high and low for a Country Companies auto claim center. He didn't know that Country Companies has more of them than anyone else in the state. So how about it, Ed? Hard to find?
Nope. It's just 5 minutes from my house. And the Country Companies folks around here are just as friendly.
You got the country behind you.
For the most auto claim centers.
You got the Country Companies.
If you're a computer owner, and who isn't today, here's your support team. CBM. CBM Computer Center, serving you with the best products, people, and ongoing support. CBM has it all. Quality product, service, and expertise. You won't get sold, then left out in the cold. CBM. All you need to remember about computers.
Siskel and Ebert, Sunday nights at 11:30 on WEEK.
This exclusive telecast is brought to you in part by Coors, the beer with the difference worth tasting. Coors is the one. By Coors Light, there's no slowing down with the silver bullet. By University Ford, where you're always a winner. By Counter, more performance, more consistency. Counter gives you more. By Methodist Medical Center of Illinois. By the Country Companies Insurance. You've got the country behind you. By ICI, makers of Eradicane and Diphenate. And by North Point Video, Audio and Appliance, Peoria and Morton.
When Pat Hensley's husband died, she was faced with the challenge of continuing the business they had opened together. But with the help of her family and some big-name clients, Harco Screen Graphics is continuing to grow. This is Fraser Ingerman. Join me for American Hearers to meet the woman who continues to succeed tonight on News 25 at 6 and Nightside.
Office Interiors by Whitmer can maximize the potential of your office for greater productivity. Whitmer provides a complete package featuring office function analysis, interior design, space and systems planning, and installation. Client needs are skillfully integrated with elements of design, color, and the finest in office furnishings. Whitmer also designs and installs filing and finding systems, including movable shelving and rotary and automated files. A productive office requires planning. Planning by Office Interiors by Whitmer in Peoria and Bloomington.
At North Point Video in Peoria and Morton, get the best in Sony entertainment. You'll find an excellent selection of video cameras and radios. North Point Video's competitive prices bring Sony Trinitron Color TV performance within reach of any home entertainment budget. The latest in Sony video technology is at North Point Video, now at 2 locations. For large inventory, low prices, and professional service, North Point Video and Appliance at North Point Plaza in Peoria and 250 Detroit Avenue in Morton.
Start the new year right in a Taurus 4-door sedan for as low as $192.89 per month. Choose from 120 units, discounted nearly $2,500. At University Ford, you're always a winner.
Hi,
I'm Stan Albeck.
I'm Frank Bissoni. Join us on Sunday mornings on WEEK for the Stan Albeck Show.
We'll recap the week's highlights from the Hilltop, the Valley, and the rest of the NCAA and talk to some of your favorite college and pro players.
So join us right here.
The Stan Albeck Show, Sundays, only on WEEK.
The Don DeLuise Show, today at 5 on WEEK.
The North Point Video Bradley Player of the Game will be named later today. North Point Video will make a donation in the name of that player to Bradley University's General Scholarship Fund. Here at Carver Arena at halftime, Bradley leads Wichita State 43-40, led by Donald Powell's 14 points. Hersey Hawkins has 10. But today, the Braves are doing it with defense, too.
Yeah, they started off with good up-tempo like they like it, and they were playing some good defense. But if you give Wichita an open shot, they're going to make it. They come into this game shooting 53% for the year, and the intensity is going to have to pick up just that little bit more. I mean, we saw it on the final play of the half there where Griffin hit the three to pull them within three. If you give them an open shot, they're going to make it most of the time.
Remember, Sasha Radenovich and Luke Jackson both injured in the first half. We don't know if we'll see them again in the second half. And meantime, the Braves lead by 3 at the intermission. And when we come back, we'll talk with former Bradley star Eddie Matthews, right after this from Bradley University.
Bradley is an excellent place to have many, many opportunities to do many, many different things. Not only did I receive a fine education here in the College of Engineering and Technology, but I also had the opportunity to play varsity baseball at a Division I athletic school. Bradley being a fine school and engineering being a difficult discipline as it is, I was very surprised to find out that I had received the Lincoln Academy Student Laureate Award for 1987. It was given to me in the House Chambers in Springfield, and the governor and his wife presented me with the award. Being drafted by a professional baseball team was again kind of a great end to a college career. I met a lot of people, did a lot of interesting things. I'll always cherish those memories and those experiences that I've had at Bradley.
At Grimm TV and Appliance, we've added an extra month to give you extra savings during Grimm's 13th month sale, December 26th through December 6th. Spend your Christmas cash on the gift that Santa forgot. Choose from Grimm's large selection of GE TVs and VCRs like this GE VCR for $298.
Why not get it all? Price, service, selection, and satisfaction. The choice is yours. Grimm TV and Appliance, Morton, Peoria, and Bloomington.
Toyota quality. It's a tradition that keeps growing stronger year after year. Number 1 in its class for customer satisfaction, the Toyota Tercel. The most trouble-free car sold in America, the Toyota Cressida. The best-selling 4x4 compact truck, Toyota. The number 1 compact truck sold in towing capacity and payload, Toyota. And they're all sold at a first-class dealership, Peoria Toyota Volvo. Who could ask for anything more?
Corn growers around here know Counter gives you more. More rootworm control, more root mass, more corn. And Counter in furrow gives you more protection where it's needed most. Counter consistently outperforms every other rootworm insecticide, and you can't afford a performance gap. So get more of what you use an insecticide for. Get Counter at your local AgriCenter dealer.
It happened so funny. Right after breakfast, I remember I started sweating. I had some pains in my chest. I thought it was just indigestion and got up to get an antacid. But my wife knew about Methodist first-hour emergency heart care, and we didn't wait. I was having a heart attack, only I just didn't know it.
Learn the early warning signs, and don't give these signals a second thought. Act immediately. Methodist's first-hour emergency heart care. Life-saving.
Continuing concern over lead, Monday on Kids Nowadays.
Welcome back to Carver Arena, where Bradley leads Wichita State at halftime 43-40, and now standing on the court at Carver Arena are Lee Hall with former Bradley star Eddie Matthews. Lee?
All right, thank you, Mark. We are with Eddie Matthews, who's trying to make a career in baseball right now after having some good memories here. You remember this place, don't you?
Oh, yeah, I remember it very well. Had a lot of good experiences here. It's nice to come back and watch a game, too.
I understand you might have a chance to move up even further this year in the Braves organization.
Yeah, things went real well this year. I'll be going to the Big League Spring Training Camp in West Palm Beach, and I know they got a couple openings this year, and there's 3 or 4 of us who are in AA that are going to go in and fight for that job. So it looks like it'll either be Atlanta or Richmond, Virginia, which is the AAA farm club.
Now, I think the main theme, like Aesop's Fable always had a theme, yours is never give up.
Yeah, well, I kind of fell into that thing, you know, when I was working with the Chiefs, and I said, I might as well give it a shot. I still felt that I could be competitive, and things worked out.
Yeah. How did you do last year?
I was in AA most of the season, and I was in the bullpen. They used me as the short man, and picked up 12 saves, and they were real happy. I seemed it was my most consistent year, and when they sent people in to watch the games, I usually fared pretty well, so I think that helped.
Seems like if you're a young pitcher, Atlanta's probably the place to be. They could use a little help.
Well, I'll tell you what, you're exactly right there. They said that they're going to go to the youth movement, and even though I'm not as youthful as some of the other guys, I feel like I got a young arm, and I feel like I got a pretty good chance to make it.
How much time are you going to give yourself? I know we talked to Jimmy Les a couple of weeks ago, and he's on the verge of giving up the basketball dream. How much longer will you give yourself?
Ever since I went into it, I said if I ever stopped progressing, that I'd get out of it. And I just got on the 40-man roster, and I feel real comfortable that I have a shot at playing some big league baseball. So I think if it gets to the point where I'm getting a little worse, or I'm not as consistent, and I start to not progress as much as I'd like to, then I'll get out.
And we see now a few of your basketball highlights. Hopefully we'll be seeing some highlights on the Superstation out of Atlanta. Good luck, Eddie.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot. We'll be back to Carver Arena in just a minute.
They treat me right here at Methodist. As a member of the Senior Connection Club, I get the right savings on special services at Methodist.
I get the right information on health, insurance, nutrition, and other timely topics from Methodist.
And so can you. Right here at Methodist.
Where senior services are right.
For more information about senior services, call 674-2273.
It's the right place at the right time on the right day. It's a state of mind. It's a feeling that's all around. The silver bullet won't slow it down. So come on in the Coors Light. It's the right beer now. To the good life, yeah. Good life, yeah. So come on in the Coors Light. It's the right beer now.
There is no other lawyer in Peoria like Jay Jansen, because I had him take my case because I thought he was the best. There's no such thing as a cap on life. Jay went out to try to get what he could get for me. I mean, today I'm really grateful for what Jay did. I mean, it doesn't bring my loved one back, but it does give me a peace of mind that he did help me and my family through the struggle.
Design Furniture and Systems have created efficient offices for hundreds of Tri-County businesses, from interior design and space planning to product selection, coordination, and accent pieces to their experienced service department's final installation. No matter what your space or budget, Design Furniture and Systems can make your office more efficient through space-saver systems like this mobile storage unit or color-coded filing systems. Design Furniture and Systems, their professional staff represents a range of manufacturers to handle all your furniture and filing needs.
Sports Dateline 1987, today at 2 on WEEK.
I think that when I get older and I'm telling my children and my grandchildren about my experience at Bradley University, I'd like to share with them all the wonderful times I had in the theater department. being able to work on productions, whether it was backstage running props or being stage manager, or whether I had the lead in the show, it was always a really special time for me to be close to the people in that department, especially the different directors and the different professors I was able to work with.
Take it slower, milk it, stay slow. Be as what?
Be as thou was wont to be.
Be as thou was wont to be. I need to shade it. Oh God, make music out of that. Ham it. Go ahead.
I'd like to share with him the time that Jeffrey Holder came to campus, and he sat in on some of our classes and he lectured to us, and he told us that each one of us has our own special shining star, and that whenever we really needed it, it was going to be there for us. And I think that was a really inspiring moment in my life.
Welcome back to Carver Arena. Mark Strauss and Lee Hall. And at halftime, Bradley has a 3-point lead. Wichita State with a better field goal percentage. Slight edge in rebounds, but look at the turnovers. Only 2 for the Braves, none of those by point guard Anthony Manuel, a dozen for Wichita State, so the Braves defense has forced some things here this afternoon. Individually for Bradley, or at least for Wichita State, Steve Greer with 8 points, Lou Hill with 8, Olga Provich with 8, so they've spread it out nicely. And of course you don't see Sasha Radunovich up there because he was injured early in the game with that knee situation. He is out on the floor taking warm-ups right now. The Braves being led by Donald Powell. He has 14. Hersey Hawkins has 10. 8 for Thomas and Manuel. Luke Jackson has 3. And as far as foul trouble is concerned, we have 3 for Trimpe. And 3 for Jerry Thomas, although the official statute says he has 2. But Jerry Thomas has 3. Wichita State will have the ball. Stan Albeck checks. The score hasn't changed since he went to the locker room. It's 43-40 Bradley.
He was so disgusted by Griffin's three-pointer to end the half, he hardly stayed to watch the half end.
Griffin has the ball now. Outside to Sasha Radunovich. He's limping around on that right leg, but he's back in there. You can see him. He doesn't move real well on it. Prelo missed the shot. The ball out of bounds belongs to Wichita State.
Well, Sasha knows and Eddie Fogler knows if they really want to have a chance to beat Bradley, they'll have to keep him in there.
I would have bet anything with as much pain as he was in that he wouldn't return, but he's made me look bad, and now he'll try to make the Braves look as bad.
Well, the way he was rolling around on the floor in such pain, it looked like almost I thought he had broken something.
Top of the circle, Lou Hill to Griffin on the right wing. Inside to Greer. He's covered. Greer left alone, but he lost the dribble. Now a scramble for it. He rolls around on the floor. I guess that's not traveling.
I know about it.
Inside he goes, and he's fouled on the play, and Jerry Thomas is called for it. As I alluded to when we gave the statistics, the official score sheet has him for 2, but we have him for 3. But now they say this is his 4th. So 4 fouls on Jerry Thomas there as he collides with Radunovich. And Sasha will go to the free throw line where he's hitting 75%. And he can tie the game if he cans the back end of the three-point play.
You talked about his elbow surgery a little earlier in the first half, Mark. He was involved in a car wreck back home in Yugoslavia. They didn't expect him to play until January, but he hasn't missed a game. He came back incredibly quickly from elbow surgery.
Not only has he not missed a game, but he's scored at least double figures in every one of them. Greg Jones in the ball game on the miss. He replaced Thomas, who took a seat on the bench with 4 fouls. Bradley still with that 1-point lead. This is Steve Greer holding the ball high to Lou Hill in the corner. Outside, Dwight Prelo. A bounce to Radunovich.
Watch Greg Jones on him. He did a good job denying him the ball before he got that pass.
They're calling it a 2-shot foul. Ron Zetcher claims that he was going to the basket when Jones fouled him, and that gets an argument from Stan Albeck. So Radunovich back at the free throw line, and you can hear what the fans think of that judgment. hits the first and ties the game.
Stan wants to talk it over with somebody.
It's good. And Wichita State has the lead. 1 point, 44-43. Hawkins fakes one way, goes the other, and then he's fouled by Radunovich. No, they call it on Lou Hill. Take your pick. Well, Wichita State has been involved in close games all year, and it looks like they will be in another one here against the Braves this afternoon, as Hersey Hawkins steps up to the free throw line where he is leading the team at 88.5%. He came into the ball game needing 70 points to become Bradley's all-time leading scorer. He now has 11, so he has 59 to go. Make it 58.
Here's the full court pressure.
Bradley up by 1. A bounce pass front court to Dwight Prelo. Almost turned it over, got it away to Griffin. Now to Lou Hill. Short on the shot. Radunovich on the rebound. Stolen by Manuel. Right out of his hands. Here comes Anthony. Ahead to Powell. Lays it up. No good, but a foul in the play. And it's called against Dwight Prelo.
Good control on the break that time by Donald just to even get the shot off.
Ought to get a good look at it here as they chase after Manuel from behind. You don't have to make much contact to be called here today, do you? Sort of brush Donald, but Donald will take the free throws, missing the first. Wearing orange trimmed shoes this afternoon.
He was wearing those the other night.
Hits the shot. So it's a 2-point Bradley lead as Powell hits one of the 2 free throws. The Braves still with that pressure. They get it across the line with 2 seconds to spare. Radunovich lost the ball. Greer recovers off the hands of Powell. 10 points for Steve Greer.
Donald was too quick for his own good that time. He got a hand on the ball. If he wouldn't have touched it, it would have been Bradley's ball.
Now the Braves turn it over. They did that only twice in the first half. Dwight Prelo with a double pump. Fans thought he walked. Then a whistle on Sasha Radunovich. That's 3 on him. We'll take a look at the foul as the Shockers go on the run here.
Well, Donald got called same kind of play in the first half. He got called for a foul on that when he got all ball. Zone again by Wichita State.
Manuel, 3-pointer. Yes. And that's the difference in the ball game right there. That 3-point basket by Anthony Manuel. Steve Greer being fronted by Powell. Outside Dwight Prelo to Radunovich. Squeezes through 2 defenders, then blows the shot. Rebound laid in. Does it count? We'll have to wait and see. It does. And then Jones is called for the foul. Well, he kept us in suspense long enough, didn't he?
Radunovich goes up with a shot, and then there's 2 yellow shirts right there underneath. Somebody's got to get them out of there.
So that's 2 fouls on Jones, and Radunovich at the free throw line for his 4th charity shot of the half. It's no good. Back tapped out to Griffin. So they can make it a 4-point trip up the floor. 5 with a 3-pointer. Greer, turnaround. He walked. They didn't call him for it the first time. The last trip down the floor, I guess that was Prelo. They didn't call it the first time, but they do here. Paul Wilson will check in soon with 16:43 to play in the half, and Bradley up by a digit, 49-48. Hawkins with the ball against Greer, splits the defense, lost it off his foot. He thought he was fouled. Griffin drives, dumps it off to Prelo, and the Hawk makes amends by stealing the pass. Nice pass. A blind pass. Hawkins can't hit the rebound, and the foul is called against the Braves. I think it's on Greg Jones. It is. look at this pass.
They did everything to Hersey on the follow here. They did everything to him except pull his shorts down. I mean, they just mauled him. Look at that. That's more contact than they've had on any foul in this half, and they didn't call anything.
Paul Gafrovich in the ball game, replacing Joe Griffin. He's number 15. Lou Hill on the dribble, bounces to Greer. Outside, Dwight Prelo. I think we'll go down to the wire here today. Radunovich goes up without the ball. Tapped up in the air by Manuel, and here they go. Offensive foul is called on Paul Wilson. I'm not sure what the boiling point is for Stan Albeck, but he's about to blow.
Looks like he was there.
Second foul on Paul Wilson. The Braves by 1, and you can hear that they're not happy about what's happening here.
The day you drive out with a new car, you start driving down the value month after month. With most auto insurance, total a car 2 years later and you just get the used car value. But with Country Company's Keeper policy, if your car is wrecked beyond repair, you get a brand new car. Same make and model, even if it costs more than you paid at first. So get the Country behind you.
You got the Country Company.
Why not try something revolutionary for lunch? Ground beef, lettuce, cheese, and a little imagination. Introducing the new Soft Taco Supreme from Taco Bell. With tomatoes and sour cream. Look, you can try something different or become another statistic. The new Soft Taco Supreme.
Hello, Taco Bell.
Now get a Soft Taco Supreme for only 99 cents at Taco Bell.
Hi, this is Stan Albeck, and this is my man for the best car deals in the Peoria area. Drew Sowers at Velde Ford and Velde Lincoln Mercury.
Thanks, Stan. We've got the best selection of new and used cars and trucks at the lowest prices right here at Velde Ford and Velde Lincoln Mercury. If you think about it, why would you want to go anywhere else? Come in and join the Velde team today. Bradley and Velde, the two hottest teams in Central Illinois.
And remember, if he can't beat your best deal, he'll give you the car free. Just tell him Stan sent you.
World Cup Skiing, Sunday on WEEK.
15:50 to play in the ball game, and Bradley leading Wichita State 49-48. The officiating hasn't been particularly to Stan Albeck's liking, but neither has the play of the Braves, and he just railed them during the last time out.
I think everybody in the lower bowl could hear that, and that is about the most irate I've seen him in the year and a half he's been here.
Gafrovich dribbles front court, and Anthony Manuel limps up the floor now. Everybody's getting a black and blue mark today. Here's Dwight Prelo, lost the ball but recovered. To brother Dwayne, number 25. Cooper with the three. Long on the shot, Wilson on the rebound, and the Braves trying to add to a 1-point lead.
Wichita back. Looks like a zone as they're coming out on him way out.
Greg Jones goes inside to score. Gafrovich holds up three fingers, indicating a set play as he comes across the timeline. Greer with the short jumper. And Donald Powell with the rebound. Almost stolen from him by Dwayne Prelo. Manuel, foul line jumper short.
Stan didn't like the shot selection that time.
Dwight Prelo open, blocked by Hersey Hawkins, and then the pass is stolen, or at least tipped away by Dwight Prelo to brother Dwayne. Good defensive play by the Shockers. Eddie Fogler getting ready to make some substitutions as Radunovich, Griffin, and Hill sit at the official scorers table. So he'll bring three men in. Greer with the rebound.
They just can't let him in there like that. He's getting those easy follows inside. Somebody's got to get him on his hip and shove him out of there.
Lead cut to 1. Hawkins with the three-pointer. That's 15 for Hersey Hawkins. He's averaging just under 39 per game, though. And a whistle inside. It's against Wayne Frelo, number 25. And now Eddie Fogler sends in the 3 players I mentioned earlier. Sasha Radunovich, Lou Hill, and Joe Griffin back at point guard. That'll move Grafovich to the off guard.
Frelo and Wilson, the 2 skinny guys out there banging each other around.
Braves by 4, Braves by 7.
Is there an S on the front of that shirt? Give him a cape.
A bounce to Grafovich. This is a big trip up the floor for Wichita. They lose the ball, and Griffin fouls Anthony Manuel.
You could feel that coming.
You might see the ball game being decided right here.
The junior gives the sophomore a little lesson there. Don't be tentative out at mid-quarter. I'll pick you clean. And that's exactly what Anthony did.
Now Stan Albeck talking with one of our referees. I'm not sure if he's talking about the last play or one that wasn't called earlier. Griffin almost made up for the steal by taking it away from Manuel, but Anthony held on to it. Powell with the turnaround pass to Wilson. He's blocked by Hill. A foul is called on Lou Hill.
What a great unselfish play that time by Donald. Instead of forcing the shot, he dumps it off. We'll see it here. He posted up well in the lane. Paul Wilson went to the open area.
And you can see that Radunovich isn't getting off his feet well after that knee injury. He did not even go up with Powell on that play. But Eddie Fogler figures that Sasha Radunovich at 50% is better than no Sasha Radunovich at all. Paul Wilson hits the first free throw, and the Braves lead by 8.
Now, it looks like we're on that second half spurt that Bradley didn't get against ISU, but they've gotten the last 3 or 4 games besides that. Full court pressure.
Braves have scored 8 in a row. Here's Grafovich on the left wing, and he puts an end to the run with 12 and a half minutes to play. Paul Wilson had designs on shooting, but passed it up. Now it's outside to Manuel. Griffin right on it. Wilson.
Paul Wilson had such a tough time before the Loyola game. He was only 2 of 11 from threes. Made 4 of his last 10 going into this game, so he's heated things up from outside.
And he's given the Braves a 10-point lead. 12 minutes to go in the half. Radunovich drives, limps his way towards the basket, and misses the shot. Hawkins on the rebound. Manuel had to dive over Griffin. No call. In addition to being a good point guard, Anthony Manuel apparently is a good hurdler. Has it stolen by Griffin, who goes coast to coast and threw it up too hard. Lou Hill with the rebound goes sailing out of bounds, and the Braves will take over. We have 11:27 to play in the game, and the Braves have jumped out to a 10-point lead as you watch Griffin blow the layup. We'll be right back.
Rootworms are the biggest threat to your corn crop each year, and you need the consistent performance of Counter. Last year, tests by major universities in the Corn Belt proved that Counter works best. It prevented economic loss to rootworms in 95% of all tests. The next insecticide prevented economic loss in only 73% of the tests. That's a serious performance gap, and you can't afford a rootworm performance gap. Get Counter at your local AgriCenter dealer.
Havana Merchants would like to congratulate Trevor Trimpe and the Bradley Braves. Here's to a successful 87-88 basketball season. Come visit our community, a nice place to live.
Sports Dateline 1987, today at 2 on WEEK.
Then you got the reverse.
Some deja vu. Stay tuned right after the game for Sports Dateline 1987, featuring some of the year's most interesting highlights from the world of sports. That's right after this afternoon's game on WEEK, where you are watching Bradley lead Wichita State 62-52. And there's Bud Wilson. 11:27 to play.
Bradley's really picked it up, and they've gone on their second half run like they've done so often. Giving them a 10-point lead here. They go by 12 or 13 with a 3.
Hawkins is fouled by Gafrovic, who tried to run through the Hawk for the ball. That's the first on Gafrovic, so he has a few to waste. And the Braves should be in the bonus situation. They are. I mentioned a bit earlier as Hawk walks up to the free throw stripe that he started the game only 70 points away from setting a new Bradley all-time scoring mark and passing Mitchell Anderson. And although it may be somewhat premature to talk about it, if he continues to score at his pace of 38.9, he could become the Missouri Valley's all-time leading scorer before the season is over. He missed the free throw, so Wichita with a chance to slice the lead to 8.
I think he might have a tough time averaging that much in the Valley just because teams are going to try and take the air out of the ball on him.
Hill goes high up over the outstretched arm of Donald Powell and scores. But we didn't think the Hawk would be averaging this many points 10 games into the season either. When he started the season with those 40-point jobs, we figured it would end quickly, that they were a novelty, but they have become habit. The lob to Powell and the layup falls through to make it a 10-point bulge again. 17 for Donald Powell. His high game of the year is 18 against Northern Illinois. Here's the bounce to Greer, fronted by Powell, moved around him nicely, gets his own rebound. They let him do whatever he wants down there, but he was blocked on the rebound.
Hawk really got up to get a piece of that one.
Wide open. Tapped out by Wilson, but Dwayne Frelo there to pick it up. 10 minutes to play. Braves by 10. Hill on the baseline, through the hoop, lays it up, tipped in by Frelo. Dwayne Frelo. Hawkins with a fall away, got it. He has 20. So he's 50 away from setting a new Bradley all-time scoring record. Steve Greer standing way outside his range. Flips to Hill, now to Gafrovic, who's guarded by Hawkins. Griffin on the wing. Manuel still playing Me in My Shadow with Joe Griffin. Steve Greer is open, but he doesn't have the shot to put it up from there. Gafrovic does. Lost the ball, gets it back to Griffin for the pop that is no good. Greer on the rebound. He's hitting the offensive boards. They haven't figured him out yet. Ahead to Hawkins. And nobody's figured that fella out.
Well, Eddie Fogler had no designs on stopping Hawk today. I don't think anybody really does. They're just lucky if he scores under 30.
Hawkins, low games of the year, both 29 points.
Poor guy after the Loyola game, he'd done about 4 games without scoring over 40. I think he was actually depressed that he hadn't scored that much. Dwayne Frelo misses the turnaround, and Greer is there again.
I think he needs to have his mail forwarded to that spot.
Now, he's really filled in well for Santos and Carr. That's the two bulky guys they're missing from last year.
And Radunovich isn't in there right now either, as the foul is called against the Braves, or at least against Lou Hill of Wichita State. That's 4 on him.
Hawk hasn't had much trouble getting open today. Against Loyola, we saw Antoine Johnson fight through picks and stay right with him, and ISU didn't let Hawk get very wide open on Monday night either.
2 shots, flips.
He's gotten open this afternoon. He's had a little bit of trouble maybe hitting his first few shots there in the first half.
Hawk sinks the free throw. That's 23 for him. At halftime, he had 10. $70-60. Pretty soon, Wichita is going to have to make a game of it.
Well, they've got a chance as long as Greer keeps going to the offensive glass as well as he's done.
They put Radunovich back in there along with Cooper. Griffin holds it high on the wing.
Greg Jones' turn to try and keep Greer off the glass. This time he lost.
Greer travels. Greer tried to muscle his way in on Greg Jones, and Jones gave way, stepped back, and Greer walked.
Give me an O. Give me an R. Give me a D. What's it spell? University. Flowers. University. Flowers. University.
At University Ford, you're always a winner.
Here's what farmers have to say about the grass control they get with Eradicane.
Since we've switched to Eradicane, we're enjoying a 100% grass control.
We have a big problem with foxtail, and Eradicane is doing a wonderful job. I had extra control over giant foxtail and a few broadleaf leaves.
When you consider the cost savings, we'll have to look at it next year, too.
For better grass control than Dual or Lasso, farmers like you are switching to Eradicane.
Entertainment this week, Sunday nights at 10:30 on WEEK.
Be sure to join Stan Albeck and his guests tomorrow morning at 11 when they discuss drug testing in sports, the high school holiday basketball tournaments, and some of the great little men in basketball tomorrow morning on the Stan Albeck Show. It starts at 11 o'clock right here on WEEK.
And the guy you just saw will make his premiere on the Stan Albeck Show, Anthony Manuel. We'll talk with the coach tomorrow morning.
Bradley sends out Manuel, Powell, Hawkins, Jones, and Paul Wilson. Wichita with Steve Greer, Sasha Radunovich, John Cooper, Joe Griffin, and Dwight Prelo. So Radunovich and Greer are in the ball game, trying to add some bulk up front.
Bradley trying to spread things out against his zone and find some wide open spaces just like that.
Greg Jones was wide open for the layup. A 12-point Bradley cushion. Braves are 9 of 13 from the field in this half. Seven minutes to play. Radunovich tries to drive on that bum knee. Couldn't get all the way to the basket. A bounce to Greer, and once again, Steve Greer is left alone. 18 points for him. If it weren't for him, these guys wouldn't even be close. Powell in a crowd. Greer was the man who ripped it out of Powell's hands. And here's Dwight Prelo on the right wing.
That's one of the few times Donald hasn't been successful inside today.
Radunovich with a long jumper, but it wouldn't fall for him. And he's probably all out of sync with that leg being taped up and a bit gimpy. Wilson open for the three, too long. Rebound, John Cooper. The 6'5" freshman out-jumped everyone. 6 minutes to go in the ball game, and Bradley leads by 10. 72-62. Almost stolen by Manuel. Dwight Prelo back to recover. Cooper open. Too far away from the basket to shoot, though.
Let's watch Bradley this time. They've been playing pretty good defense, about 20 seconds off the shot clock.
Griffin off the back iron. Rebound out of the arms of Wilson into the hands of Steve Greer. Pretty soon the clock will be working against Wichita State as Prelo launches one from three-point range. And then a whistle on the rebound against Greg Jones. He's racked up 4. Trevor Trimpe will check back in, and here's the foul on Jones. And there was no doubt about that call as he slapped him in the arm.
Well, Wichita State down by 10, 5:20 to play. We're probably going to see them put up a few threes now, and they've got a whole load of guys who can hit the three-point shot. There's about 6 guys out there who aren't bad shooters.
Jones out, Trevor Trimpe in. But he has 3 fouls. Trimpe hasn't scored yet today. In it goes to Greer.
Guess who?
Does he have body odor or something? No one wants to stand by him.
I don't know. I was thinking, you know, they put electric wire around cattle fences, you know, to keep them from getting out. Well, he might have his uniform electrified or something, but he is finding all kinds of room inside.
Maybe they just didn't wash it. Here's Manuel with a short jumper, rolls in and out. Rebound to Greer. It's Bradley versus Steve Greer. Bradley's winning 72-64. Radunovich inside, turns, blocked by Hersey Hawkins. Ahead to Manuel. Let's see if the Braves can convert. Wilson, he got it.
Good job that time by Paul Wilson to angle his body and not pick up the charge against Gafrovich. He was there waiting for him. But Paul turned himself at the last second and didn't hit him, avoided the contact.
Now a steal by Manuel. You know who will win this foot race. And Donald Powell finishes. Okay, you can do your Dick Vitale.
You need a TO, Eddie Fogler, a timeout.
The Braves lead by 12.
With the arrival of the Morrisons' new baby, the flexibility of Country Company's universal life insurance is a big help.
I know it's hard to believe, but you can change the amount of your coverage, even skip payments if you need to.
But why Country Companies?
They've always delivered what they promised.
You got country behind you.
With Country Company's universal life.
You got Country Companies.
Corn growers around here know Counter gives you more. More rootworm control, more root mass, more corn. And Counter in furrow gives you more protection where it's needed most. Counter consistently outperforms every other rootworm insecticide. And you can't afford a performance gap. So get more of what you use an insecticide for. Get Counter at your local AgriCenter dealer.
Sports Dateline 1987, today at 2 on WEEK.
Well, we told you the point guards would be a big factor in this game. Anthony Manuel certainly has for Bradley. Hersey Hawkins with the block here. We're not going to see the steal by Anthony Manuel, but you're going to see him put an assist into the arms of Paul Wilson. And then Manuel ended up with his, 9th steal of the game. That's an arena record.
You saw, I mentioned when Paul made that shot, he angled his body perfectly and avoided the contact, avoided picking up the charge. And you can bet these guys would have called it the way they've been calling the game this afternoon.
A reminder that News 25 at 6 will bring you up to date on all the latest happenings in Central Illinois. Kathy Wyman has the weather, Kelly Morgan the news, and Tim Perkins will recap today's ball game and get you some post-game comments from both the coaches. That's News 25 at 6 o'clock. Inside 4 minutes to play. Wichita State with the ball. Gafrovich driving inside. He's in trouble. Greer is finally covered.
Bradley like a shark in the water. They can smell the blood.
Hill with the three, won't go. Trevor Trimpe on the defensive board. Anthony Manuel, who has 9 steals today. .325 to go. Hawkins drives, falls, shoots, and misses. But Powell works hard and counted. That's 21 points for Donald Powell, his high game of the season.
What great effort here. Misses once, goes back up against it. Donald's,
what was that?
What was what?
What was that little dance?
I don't know. Was that the Cabbage Patch dance?
It's a poor imitation. Lou Hill fouled him, by the way, and he's out of the game.
How dare he do poor imitations when I'm here? Thought I was only allowed to do poor imitations.
Powell with 21 points. Powell with 22 points.
Donald's way too good-looking a guy to be called the missing link, but that's what was missing Monday night against Illinois State, a good effort inside. They really could have used him in the second half. He went out with the ankle injury. It's still bothering him a little bit, but only when he walks. You can't see it out there on the floor.
A 15-point Bradley lead. Dwight Prelo can't cut into it.
Dun-dun, dun-dun. Jaws, here they come.
To Powell. Offensive foul is called. And they won't count it. Does he foul him before or after the shot?
That ball was on its way home.
Eddie Fogler looked at Stan Albeck and shook his head yes, as if to say it should have counted. Ball goes out of bounds, and the officials give it to Wichita.
Now, even though it didn't count, it was still fun to watch, and it was still a good showing on the break by Bradley.
And the Braves forced the Shockers to turn it over. Albeck looked down at Fogler. Eddie looked back, shook his head yes, and confirmed that Stan Albeck's instincts were correct. That ball should have been counted, and even though Powell committed the foul, the basket should have gone. But the Braves lead by 15 with 2:24 to play. Out of bounds to Albeck. Stan's got to work on those ball handling skills. Stan telling the official that Stan paid folks paid $10 to see those jams by Donald Powell.
How much did you pay to get in?
I think I had a scalper's ticket. About 12.
Oh, yeah.
Meanwhile, a foul on Wichita.
Eddie Fogler probably paid to get out of here.
It's on Paul Gafrovich. His second. Anthony Manuel at the free throw line with 11 points.
Well, Eddie Fogler didn't know which team would show up today. His team that played Purdue so well, or his team that lost those 3 straight in OT.
And in all fairness to Wichita State, when they lost Radunovich with 11:40 to play in the first half, it really took something out of this team.
Yeah, like their top scorer and their top rebounder.
And he's seen spot duty in the second half, but he really can't get around on that leg like he normally does. The Braves run out of there. Manuel circles front court with 1:50 to play. 79-64 Braves. And it looks like they'll have their first Missouri Valley win in a few minutes. Hawkins on the wing.
And they said going into this that it was so critical to get that first win, and they could not start off 0-2 in the Valley. But you better believe Wichita State will be there when it's decided.
Dwight Prelo fouls Hersey Hawkins. That's 4 on him, but at this point it's all academic. Meanwhile, Wichita will suffer its 4th road loss in 5 road games, and this is the first loss of the year that wasn't a close one for them. 3 have been in overtime. A 4th was by 2 points. Hawkins at the free throw line with 24. Make it 25. One more. A 17-point lead for the Braves. Here's Greer, stolen by Paul Wilson, and then he's fouled by Greer. A frustration foul. Wilson will walk the other way and step up to the free throw line as the Braves are in the bonus.
Good help that time by Paul Wilson, fading in down there on Greer. And another turnover for Wichita. They haven't taken very good care of the ball. Bradley's really forced them.
Yeah, they had 12 in the first half alone, and they haven't improved on that much here in the second half. Wilson perfect at the free throw line until that free throw, but it's back tapped out to him by Trimpe. Hawkins drives, has 26, has 28. Yes, it counts.
Trevor Trimpe doing something again that probably won't show up in a box score, but gets the Braves some points. He knocks the ball out on the rebound. Hawk turns it into 2, possibly 3.
A minute 9 to play. And he's reached 30. I'm sorry, he has 29 points.
41 to pass J.J. Anderson.
1 minute remaining.
Or as Paul Herzog would say, J.J. Anderson.
Greer with a three-pointer. That's his first three-point attempt of the year. Hawk inside, and he's fouled, and now he has a chance for 30. It's on Dwight Prelo, and he has fouled out of the ball game. Lou Hill fouled out earlier, and Dwight Prelo takes a seat with 5 points. He averages 11, so they've shut him down.
Wichita doing everything they can to try and keep Hawk from scoring. 4 guys around him that time. He still got the shot away.
And I think if they wouldn't have called it on Prelo, they could have called it on Cooper. Cedric Coleman, number 11, making his first appearance in the ball game.
He's a guy,
6'3" senior who played in high school along with the Prelo brothers.
He played a lot for the Wichita team that won the Valley Tournament back in '85, but he's kind of faded into the woodwork since Eddie Fogler's come to town.
Hawkins makes it a 19-point game, and now the Stormtroopers will check in. Mike Cash getting ready for an appearance.
His first of the year.
Kafrovich goes to the hoop, rattles in and out. The follow jam was missed. 30 seconds to play in the game. Mike Cash may not get a chance to step in. Hawkins trying to pad the average. And it's Bradley's ball. He had to hold on to the ball or else he would have landed right on the basket stand. He had to use the ball to protect himself. Hawkins takes a seat after 30 points.
And the sign over on Main Street says, "The Hawk." What else can you say?
Jay Shell in, and a three-pointer rolls in and out. 19 seconds to play in the game. Cash and Jay Shell are both in for Bradley. Here's John Cooper. The pop is good. 10 seconds left. Bradley will win. They will be 9-2 and 1-1 in the Missouri Valley with their next game on Thursday against Indiana State. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Shell gets it off at the buzzer. And a perfect ending to a near perfect afternoon as Bradley beats Wichita 86-70 and erases memories of Monday night's loss to Illinois State. Back to wrap it up after this.
It happened so funny. Right after breakfast, I remember I started sweating. I had some pains in my chest. I thought it was just indigestion and got up to get an antacid. But my wife knew about Methodist first-hour emergency heart care, and we didn't wait. I was having a heart attack, only I just didn't know it.
Learn the early warning signs, and don't give these signals a second thought. Act immediately. Methodist's first-hour emergency heart care. Life-saving.
It's the right beer at the right time. It's the silver bullet that has tastes so fine. It's a new way to go to town. The silver bullet won't slow you down. So come on, it's a Coors Light. It's the right beer now. To the good life, yeah.
If you're tired of sweatpants that can turn into sweat knickers after one washing and sweatshirts that can't hold up to a backyard first down, Brown Sporting Goods has the sweats you'll go for. New premium weight sweats are the best ever, built by the folks who are experts at making comfortable yet rugged athletic wear. Russell Athletic sweats are heavier, thicker, and softer, built tougher to last longer, and shrink less than ever. In short, we at Brown's think they're the best you can buy for the money. Russell Athletic Premium Sweats at all Brown Sporting Goods locations.
1987 was a year of great memories and great moments. From heroes on ice to heroes in flight, Sports Dateline 1987 captures all the names and events. 12 months filled with record makers and record breakers, championships lost and championships won. So make a date with Sports Dateline 1987.
Sports Dateline 1987, today at 2 on WEEK.
Our Bradley player of the game, as Bradley wins it 88-70 over Wichita State, is Donald Powell, who contributed 22 points tonight and dominated the inside. A fine performance from him, his high game of the year. So our congratulations to Donald Powell, and Bradley University will have donated in Donald's name from North Point Video money into its general scholarship fund. Our high scorers this afternoon, Hersey Hawkins with 31, and as I mentioned, Powell with 22. As for Wichita State, Steve Grayer scored 23. Lou Hill had 10, but he scored only 1 point in the second half and then fouled out of the ball game. Paul Gafrovich had 10. He had only 2 in the second half. And Sasha Radunovich finished the ball game with 6 points, but of course he didn't score in the first half because of that gimpy leg. He landed on his knee and had some real problems getting off the court. They wrapped it at halftime. He came back out and was in and out of the lineup. Steve Grayer was the big force underneath for Wichita this afternoon with his 23 points. However, the Braves won it 88-70. That basket by Jay Shell at the ball game eventually decided to be a 2-pointer and not a 3-pointer. But the Braves look mighty impressive on defense this afternoon, Lee.
Mark, they forced a lot of turnovers there in the second half and really disrupted what Wichita State wanted to do offensively. They just really couldn't come down and get much set up.
And the Braves now 1-1 in the Missouri Valley Conference, with their next game coming up on Thursday against the Indiana State Sycamores. That will be at Terre Haute. Our next televised game will be on Saturday, January 30th from Tulsa against the Golden Hurricanes. 7:30 our broadcast time, so mark it on your calendar. You'll see the Braves on the road at Tulsa and then 2 nights later at Wichita State. For Lee Hall and our director Tom Opperman, our statistician Perry Cole, this is Mark Strauss from Carver Arena, where the Braves beat Wichita 88-70. So long, everyone.